Hello, Pioneers, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Candle Close News. In this week's weekly technical analysis and market psychology and sentiment video, we're going to be talking about patterns because that's a great place we can start. When it comes to doing technical analysis, we need to always remember that it's about analyzing the past, seeing the patterns, locating them, and applying them and utilizing them with its information for the most probable outcome in the future. And that's what technical analysis truly is. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get transitioned into this video for you all today. Certainly hope you're doing well and sending you all much love and high vibrations as we start this Monday, Moon Day, April the 18th. Certainly hope you've all done your taxes. The tax deadline is today, not financial advice. But you know Uncle Sam's going to want his money, you guys. So we see this recent sell-off breaking us down below our trend line that we've had on this channel for quite some time now, that we've been holding multiple daily candle closes above. And that's something I wanted to talk about right now because I know that after 3 years, almost 4 years roughly, of setting higher highs and higher lows in this market, there still seem to be a lot of people that are bearish right now when it comes to crypto. However, I, on the other hand, feel like at times one of the only people that are bullish and optimistic that we will soon see a blow off top and price discovery for Bitcoin and other cryptos. This is something that I have been pretty confident in seeing, just as we have every other cycle going back throughout history. So since there is so much drama and confusion in the market right now, I wanted to make sure I was preparing my pioneers and the community that we're building here at the Daily Candle Close News on the latest weekly close that seems pretty bearish. I'm here to keep you all cool, calm, and collective and not so emotional, especially during the next 2 weeks of April, leading into our eclipse and new moon of May. I'm very confident that what we are about to see is a very volatile move for crypto. We have been in this accumulation and boring range for quite some time, and we don't hang out here forever, you guys. And with this retest down to 38K today on April the 18th, hitting 38,500 is not surprising to me, because when we type out taxes, we get the 18, and we know the tax deadline is today. And what's even funnier is when we just type out tax, we still get that 18, and there's that 45 that we know we get in Bitcoin. So of course it's gonna affect Bitcoin. So taxes giving us the 45, the 36 connection already to Bitcoin. Very powerful. Today's the 18th of April, tax deadline. We're in the 15 year, the tiger year. Tiger equals 15, and I educate you all on this. And what's even funnier is when you type out tax deadline, you're getting the 99 connecting us to Jupiter, the tiger this year, in the year of Jupiter, the year of the tiger. The 45 connecting us to Bitcoin, the 6336 connection, and the 38K that we're setting at for Bitcoin right now. So I'm not surprised to see us break this trend line and retest 38K. Obviously, this is kind of cautious and bearish right now because we've been holding this trend line with daily closes for quite some time. And I'm arguing that we're doing that right now still, because I haven't moved this trend line. It's on every one of my charts for BTC, and it has been on my channel for quite some time in multiple videos. And right now we're still holding support of this trend line. We've just wicked below it and have been bought right back up. So something we'll continue to pay attention to for the rest of the day, Monday, Moon Day. Let's see with the stocks opening again today. They closed on Friday, Good Friday. So it was an extended weekend, and this is something we'll have to pay attention to see what happens. You know, we'll watch the Dow Jones and other indices today to see what goes on. But our Sunday close yesterday closed at 39K, which was still holding support of, higher lows in the structure, and we still are as of now, going back in time. Ultimately, until we break this 34 and, this 32K range, we got something that we don't have nothing to talk about. We know we can fall below this trend line just like we did back in C19, and it just takes some time to get back above it. But we can fall back below it and get bought right back up like we have so far. So it's something we'll continue to pay attention to moving forward. We know recently we came out of Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th birthday on April 5th, and we've been in a downtrend to retest the bottom side of this trend line since. We've still been in this sideways trading range for over a year now. So that's very important. We've yet to break the apex of this triangle that we've been in. So we'll talk about this and a lot of other patterns today. Because this 18 number is something that I want to educate you all on. It's obviously a very important number that I've shared with you all for quite some time. Roughly 6 months I've shared with you how 18 means alive in Judaism, and we understand that alive means life. Okay, so very important. You don't get the 18, but that's what alive means. It means you're alive. You have life. And you can't make life without making love. And that's very important. We get the 18 in love. So ultimately, I wanted to share that this 18 ties us back to source. And as we are coming out of, the celebration of Easter or Ishtar, I wanted to share how important this source and this 1881 connection is. It's all about restart and full circle, a portal, a doorway. It's all about growth and endings and new beginnings, the phoenix. It's all about the egg, you guys. Remember, what do our kids search for? Well, actually go and do your research about that and read the mythologies. It's actually quite interesting. I'll just leave that there. But Easter is Ishtar, and it's something I wanted to bring up and share with you all. We know this 1881 connection ties us into who we are. We are the fool out here in this prison planet, and we need to evolve and be born again, opening our third eye, the Kundalini serpent, etc. But this 1881 connection ties us back to source, and it's something I wanted to share with you all. We get the 1881 and the 27 that we'll be talking about today in this decode and technical analysis video. Ultimately, it's something I wanted to share because I want us all to evolve and do our own due diligence and research. Again, that 18 and 81. 81 and 18 is as above, so below. So within, so without. We live in a mirror verse. So it's something that's very important. Today is, again, April 18th. We're in the Shemitah year, the 7-year sabbatical cycle, giving us the 18. So we know how important this is right now. When we type out hours, minutes, and seconds, because that's what we run on the day or time, we get the 81, the 108, the spiritual completion. When we look at today's date, we know that it is the 108th day of the year. So that's very important. Something I wanted to bring up as well as we were starting this decode and getting into this technical analysis video. This 108-18 connection ultimately ties us into heaven, giving us that 27-8. Heaven, giving us that 27 connection that we've been talking about here, which is the castle in the sky, which in cryptocurrency is price discovery and a blow off top. Okay, a euphoric period. Okay, very important. Most people don't catch the top. Most people don't go to the castle in the sky. So very important. Do your own due diligence and research. So again, ultimately, So very important. We know this ties us into money, today being the tax deadline, giving us the 18, ultimately giving us the 7227 connection, tying us into Bitcoin and Ripple, etc. We share that. It's fiat. Oh, giving us the 18 connection there, the 7227 connection, this 36 that keeps popping up. Ultimately, all of this is tying us into alpha, the alpha and omega. Again, that 38. We see Bitcoin at 38K right now. All right, this 18, all tying us in here, and so very important to why we see this 38K today on 4/18, you guys, April the 18th, the 108th day of the year. And we'll be breaking this down extensively today throughout this video, but I just wanted to give a short, brief update as to why we're seeing this breakout of our trend line that we've held support of for almost 4 months now. So I don't want you all to get panicked and feared out of this market when it comes to paying attention to technical analysis in a more broad view. Something we do here on the Daily Candle Close News. I do want to go over a parallel channel with you all that a lot of people have been talking about. All right. So when we look at this parallel channel that a lot of content providers right now are talking about, that again we've broken out of, and we put it in the logarithmic view, and we go back in time, we see it's actually a very important channel that we need to pay attention to, and we can look at. We got this support that sent us into our 69K top, and we fell down into it since. We've battled around and to hold support of this heart line, and to ultimately hold support now of the bottom side of this parallel channel. So again, support being held here once, rejection before breaking out to April highs of last year, before our May double eclipse period in April and May of last year. Same thing, we're about to head into a double eclipse period. So all the way back into boom. All right. We see, what is this, 2019? Yeah. We had this whole area of support at the bottom side before breaking out into an automatic rally, before going all the way back down. C19. Okay. 2018-19 parabolic blow off top, bull market, before bear market ABC correction, before falling back down. Look at how we held support before going up into that blow off top. Rejection, heart line, rejection, heart line, rejection, heart line. Failed to hold support. We could be doing this now, a spring in structure possibly. But look at the 2014, swipe through the 2014 bull run highs, all the way back to 2011. So pretty important parallel channel when, again, utilizing technical analysis and going back in history. Okay, so it's something maybe we can add to our charts in the logarithmic view and pay attention to. So what I'm thinking now is, typically we have sell in May and walk away. Every Shemitah year we tend to gravitate positively until the end of Taurus, which is around May 18th, May 19th. So I'm not saying that crypto will 100% follow this, because it's only been around for 13 years. And when we study the S&P 500 going back 100 years, looking at the Shemitah year, 13 years is not a lot of a lot of data, and we need to be open-minded. So what I'm not playing around with is this parallel channel anymore, and this 56K, this 51K area for a potential dead cat bounce, for Bitcoin. You know, if we continue to break down past this support, it could get pretty bloody, like for a spring in structure, where we possibly dive down to 33K before bouncing right back up. We've seen this before, just like right back here, where we fell off into our May 19th eclipse period, right after Elon Musk is, crypto is essentially a scam, before choppy, boring, falling down, feeling the whip, before automatic rally, rejection, and slow downtrend to fill out this wick again. So if we were to fill out these 2 wicks of January and February, well, that would show us that we're possibly going to do the same thing, where we chop around for the next few days, or potentially just swipe down here and fill out these wicks again before again moving back up. It's a potential possibility. With that being said, that would be, kind of bearish, but a great possible opportunity, to accumulate some 33K, 34K Bitcoin before potentially seeing again a 51K, etc. So not financial advice. So as we get closer to the 19th, 20th, 21st of April, that would be where I'm considering recovery. Possibly tomorrow, the 21st, 22nd. We know that 22nd reset equals 22, change equals 22, recycle equals 22. We know how important this 21st, 22nd time period is. So that's something that's being made here. We'll continue to see how this plays out. This is definitely opportunity, in my opinion. This is not a time to gamble money. So unless you're a really sophisticated trader and you know how to read charts and you've got a good sentiment and mind frame around cryptocurrency, maybe take a potential opportunity here. But don't mess around here. Consider what you've learned, how the last few weeks, how quickly we move up and how quickly we move down. We've done this time and time again. So don't get excited and don't get depressed. Be neutral, okay? As someone who's trying to become a technical analysis trader and analyst in this game, then you've got to remain neutral and leave your emotions on the sideline. If you're trying to be someone like these lizards that trade like a Warren Buffett, again, an investor, not a trader, then you no longer care too much about the day-to-day, You need to if you're someone that's trying to become a professional trader, then you need to make trades that are responsible. Remember that. And don't worry too much, especially if you have a big devastating pullback. And don't get excited if you have a big pump, especially if you're in a short and you get liquidated. Just continue to learn, you guys. While this is still a young asset class that not everybody knows about yet, people are still on their phones, watching sports, etc. Continue to learn. Ignore everybody else. Study. Build a thesis. That's something we're trying to teach here. Overcome the basics that everybody else ignores. Master them, If we can't continue to hold this support line, though, then we'll probably continue to gravitate towards that 33K that I was just talking about, though. Sorry, I was getting a little sidetracked, and I just want to jump back into the technical analysis. Possibly by May, we could see somewhere around 50K. Take this at a log. There we go. Alright, so Bitcoin gravitating towards the 618 or the 702 fib would be amazing and miraculous, especially for the altcoins. But this would definitely be a tough decision for people, probably going back to what I was just talking about. Would people de-risk and take action because we're probably going to get a dramatic pullback after, because people tend to get greedy right here after euphoria. When we're up at resistance, people tend to don't know when to de-risk. But it's possible we breach up towards this 51K, this 55K, something I'm pretty adamant on. This 0.5 fib for our dead cat bounce and a retest of this last week of December, the end of the year for Bitcoin. Something I'm looking forward in the near distant future. A final breakout of this apex. We're getting pretty close, and we know we tend to break out about 70-80% through these apexes when we tend to see them for cryptocurrency. So something I want to share with you all there as well. So again, just analyzing patterns, and notice how we can come back and possibly retest the outside top side of this trend line back at around 47K. We know we're in Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th year of his age. Again, this is a fake character. We know this. But again, it's something I have to reiterate, especially this year. Let's even start here. We'll share this with you all real quick. Especially since we've already started on today being the 18th, this 18 number. Listen to what Jay Clayton says about cryptocurrency.
Look at how much has changed in the last 12 months. You mentioned the op-ed that I wrote in the journal about bringing blockchain technology to our core funding markets and how much efficiency that would add. 12 months ago, most central banks, crypto was what I would say was a scary and somewhat, people may say, dirty word. Now, most central banks, and you see this in Europe, and you certainly see it in Asia, are embracing the idea that crypto is going to be part of the core plumbing in the global funding markets. It's almost a 180-degree switch in less than a year. If they have that perspective, they're going to be much more receptive to crypto coming to the product markets.
No.
So banks were scared of crypto, and it was scary 12 months ago. And now it's done 180 flip. There's that 18 again, that 81. It's all right there leading into the day, I believe. I believe it's all by design, and that there's nothing new under the sun. They printed a ton of money 2 years ago. They put their money into Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other cryptos, and they stacked up, invested in this. They're going to raise inflation. They're going to continue to raise it, and continue to raise the rates. It's all by design. Banks are making the money, getting all their rich clients into cryptocurrency. And what are they going to do? They're going to catch the little guy on the back end while moving the casino over to the crypto space. I mean, they're going to change the whole banking system. And I'll repeat this. You'll have your cryptocurrency wallet at Bank of America, at Wells Fargo, at whatever bank you go to. We were shown this in 2020 when Brian Brooks allowed federally chartered banks to accept cryptocurrency, and now they offer it to your wealthy clients now for 2 years, to basically custody your cryptocurrency. It's all designed. You'll have a digital coin, a central bank digital currency, connected to the bag of SDR currencies while you're getting governmental basic income, while you're sitting at home in a rental-based society. They're going to make it too expensive for you to get a mortgage, too expensive for you to live, to buy land, So assets is where it's at, warriors, pioneers. Get assets, something, and hold on long term. Undeniable. Something we've been doing here that changed our life multiple years ago. And then 2020 came. The greatest opportunity to even buy more. So it's undeniable. Get ready for what's coming. So just wanted to share that. Definitely have to go on a rant and rave sometime about these private Western central bankers in this weekly technical analysis market psychology red pill, decode, I guess, a Watt bamboozle. Definitely not surprised though. It's all by design though. Even this breakout that we're seeing today, I done showed you. Tax season, taking us down to 38K, because tax deadline equals 38, giving us the 18 and 81 connection to the Shemitah year, all during the month of Venus, you guys. How about that? Giving us that 18 and 81, that 27 connection, all tying us in here. Bitcoin equals 72. Undeniable as to why we are seeing all of this take place. So let's talk about the fact that this is a bear flag. I know that a lot of people were talking about this is a bear flag, a bear pennant, which isn't false. We have our flagpole right here, and of course we're in this, bear flag right here pointing upwards, and this could ultimately take us to a big breakdown. This is a very clean bear flag, to be quite frank. Anyone who's a good analyst will analyze this, and one of the pioneers, Josh, has and shared it with me, something that I've noticed myself. I just don't pay attention to this. I don't put a lot of energy into this, because I tend to see this breaking up towards around that 618, towards a dead cat bounce, around that 0.5 golden pocket, that 57K, before getting rejected, leading into a possible bull trap. So I'm definitely not so adamant on seeing this as a cautious bearish opportunity right now until after we see this move up, and then I see possibly coming back down to around that 21K, that cataclysmic black swan event, that crisis of around whatever, narratives around war or false flag events on the world stage, right here around the end of September, November, October. We'll see after the Shemitah ends. So we're getting pretty close, you guys. Only a few months, and we're talking days in a macro outlook. So when we look at the Dow, yeah, we're selling off again today. But, it started buying back up after the invasion of this war. So right now, this behavior, after this narrative of war being built on the world stage, I think is getting us ready for this August, September, October, November area, leading us into a blow off top for all of these indices around the board. Some sort of move up before coming back down. So we'll continue to pay attention to see how this plays out, especially around this eclipse of April. It doesn't have to be the same exact day of April 30th neither. I know this December 4th eclipse period, we saw volatile movement on the eclipse, but we'll see what happens. We know, again, today, this downtrend, let's talk about this. Today's a day that leaves 257 days left in the year. Okay, that comes back to Satoshi Nakamoto. 257 is the 55th prime number, you guys. And you can go and research that. You see it is somewhere right here. Is the 55th prime number. Tying us back into Satoshi Nakamoto when we type that out. giving us that 55. Undeniable. Another connection to today, it being 7 months, 11 days since the start of Rosh Hashanah and the Jewish Hebrew New Year, and Bitcoin gives us that 117. How about that? The mirror of 7-Eleven. Today's 223 days since the start of Rosh Hashanah. And that ties us right back into Skull and Bones, who's liquidating the market right now to get everyone to panic sell before we possibly move right back up to the top side of this trend line. This 45K that we need to turn into support. Why is that important? Because again, Bitcoin equals 45. So very important. Again, today being 108 days, the 108th day of the year. Spiritual completion. Drop the 0, you get the 18 for today's date, 418, tying us back into Shemitah, Venus. All these things that I've shared with you all. Source, ultimately tying us back into source. So very important. All as we head out of Ishtar. You know, we celebrated that yesterday, you guys. None of this is surprising. We just had our pink moon, also known as the Pascal moon, the awakening moon. So I believe crypto's about to awaken, you guys. This 61 is the 13th prime number, tying us into Bitcoin. It's in its 13-year anniversary. Pascal moon giving us that 117. Same as Bitcoin. And today being 7 months, 11 days since the start of Rosh Hashanah. We know we just came out of Easter where we have our kids looking for eggs. Taurus, it starts on the 19th. Okay? Very important. So we know this zodiac is very important, tied in here. Easter leads into Taurus. Alright, the bull. It's also called the egg moon and the pink full moon. We're in the year of the tiger. Tiger gives us 59. All of this, very important, you guys. Undeniable. As to why we're seeing this volatility, I think, in the cryptocurrency market. Taking us back down to 38K because ultimately today's the tax deadline. So we knew today's going to be a very important day, the 418. Tomorrow's 419. 224 days. Bitcoin equals 224. So or Satoshi Nakamoto equals 224. So very important. One day I'm looking at is this 224. April is really the second month in the true calendar. So again, very important. We know 224 ties us back to Satoshi Nakamoto. Shemitah equals 70. So very important. Deoxyribonucleic acid 114. So very important. Ultimately, again, and then my birthday, you guys, 2 days later, April 26th, being that 72 date numerology, being a Tuesday, the day of Mars, we'll pay attention to this. Pretty important date also. We get that 72, 36, that 18 connection, that 52, all numbers we get in Bitcoin right here. So very important connections right here. Just sharing this all with you before we head off of here. Don't get flooded out of this market. If we continue to set a spring or fill in these wicks, don't be surprised. I do believe we'll continue to get bought right back up and head into ultimately this 618 range, this 0.5, this 51K range. Take care and God bless, pioneers. Build your legacy and build your fortress.